The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Because you can't drink and talk at the same time.
Leave the conversation to us and order another beer.
You're listening to Texas's live
midday beer-centered show,
Liquid Lunch.
Liquid Lunch. Here are your hosts,
Catherine Contreras
and Josh Stewart.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It is Thursday. It is noon. It is 2019, and we are back in the swing of things. Except for the fact that I forgot to bring the monitor in that normally was there. And on that monitor, if we had it in here, we would have Sydney Porter joining us now from Southern Yankee Brewing Company. Hello.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
We're great. How are things in technically North Houston?
It's good. Weather's way better, which is nice.
Yeah.
Rain last week was making me sad inside, so now we're sunny and happy and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like you got a sunrise over your shoulder there. I will say the colors of your wall kind of look like they would emulate the sky a bit. So if there's not as much sun, you'd kind of, but when it's bright,
we make our own little sunshine.
Yeah. That's nice.
Tried to make it a little bit brighter in here.
Yeah.
Some breweries are just a little dark and bleh. We wanted it to be a little bright piece of Houston.
Yeah, it's nice. For you guys who have not been to Southern Yankee yet, first and foremost, how dare you? Secondly, right there north of Houston between... it's off the... Oh, sorry. 45 and no, wait. Yeah, it's on 1960
and 45.
Between 45 and the Hardy.
Yes.
Like almost smack dab in the middle, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So either way, however you're heading north, straight north.
It's close to the Waffle House on 1960.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. So go grab your.
Everybody knows that. Waffle
how do you like
House.
your omelet? You like it chopped, smothered, hammed, and I don't know. I don't remember all the. Anyway, Sydney, how do you like your omelet?
With lots of cheese.
Smothered? I think that's smothered.
Basically. It's one of those things, like some of the regulars, we talk about what I want to do with beer and what I want to do, and I can't not talk about how, as soon as I can, and we can fit in our schedule, I want to do a beer and cheese tasting, because cheese and beer are two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So why not put them together in a grand old time?
Would you ever put cheese in a beer?
Could be weird.
Could be real weird.
I don't know how that would work. Although I did actually just hear about a brewery that dry hopped with full rotisserie chickens. So it could be done. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but it definitely could be done.
Yeah. Well, speaking like chicken beers, if you've got the Joy of Home Brewing by Charlie Papazian, he has a recipe. Or I don't know if it's maybe I think the recipes. Anyway, he has a story of a chicken beer from back in the day, back in like medieval times.
Okay.
And they would boil the chicken in the wort, in the beer during your boil, and
it's nice fattiness in there.
Something, yeah. And Alan from Brigadoon, he tried it out at the Renfest one year.
Yeah.
And mixed results.
Did you taste it?
I didn't get to taste it. I was unable to make it out there.
I mean, if it's going to be a weird beer like that, I'm going to try it.
Yes.
I mean, I've tried a tomato-based gruit before. It kind of tasted like tomato juice, but that's to be expected.
Well, they use like basil and sage or something in it instead of...
It was like sage and like mugwort and all sorts of other little roots and things that sound very like witchy.
Yeah. No. Speaking of witchy, to my left, he's back, everybody, as well. One, Mr. Christopher Kennedy.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Kennedy.
Kennedy, did you get a new job?
No.
It looks like a work shirt you're wearing there.
Oh.
I didn't know if you were like
Yeah, so
working at Bayless and
Julie, my
Heard of her.
wonderful and awesome
fiance?
girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend.
She's watching.
So it's not yet.
She's watching. She gave me this. I got this shirt from her for Christmas.
Oh,
It's a nice. Oh, it's over here. Embroidered Bailson Brewing Company
yeah.
flannel.
Here, let me feel that.
Very nice.
What's the
It's
thickness
nice.
on that one? Okay,
It's a legit flannel.
yeah. No, that's good stuff.
Can we go ahead and do this? It might be a little early.
What's that? Do this.
That Bailson gave us a Christmas present.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, gift giving. Sure. I feel like okay. So here's something I learned over the break, Sydney. That the 12 days of Christmas. Do you know where those came from?
No, I do not.
See, most people think like the 12 days of Christmas are like Black Friday, and then maybe there was that Cyber Monday and Christmas Day and Christmas Eve.
Like commercial.
Yes.
Commercial.
Because
thing.
they're always talking about the gift giving. Should I grab this?
Yeah.
All right.
Go
So
ahead.
there's the gift.
Yeah.
From Adam and
Ooh,
Sarah.
very nice.
Jason.
Adam and Sarah. Yeah.
But what it actually is there's Christmas Day, and then in the Greek and Russian Orthodox Church, they celebrate Christmas on January 6th.
Okay.
And so
So it's just like a continuous.
yes, it was that was actually what it was. It was
Gotcha.
the Pope from back whenever, like the 1500s or something along those lines. He was like, "Hey, let's bring everybody together." And everybody's like, "But we celebrate Christmas on different days. How are we going to rectify this?" And he's like, "Let's just have 12 days of Christmas," which seems
I'm all right with that.
yeah, seems reasonable. And so that's where the song came from, and the crummy gifts in said song. So I'm hoping.
Who wouldn't want doves and lots of birds? It's a lot of birds.
It is a lot of birds. I don't know if they're roasted or not.
You don't want
One of them's in a tree.
you don't want a bunch of milking maids.
Probably not.
Maids a milking.
Yeah.
Ladies dancing.
Are
would
they
be fun.
continuously milking?
I don't know. And how is the milking going? What are they milking? What
There's
is
a lot of
milk?
questions here that we could go into.
Is it like a cat, like with the teat? Is that the teat of a cat? What's going on? I don't understand.
Can you milk a cat?
Yeah, they have teats. You can absolutely milk a cat. Some cats have more milk than others. Preferably, it's a female cat, I guess. I mean, I guess you could milk a male. No,
so.
things have gone really weird. Anyway, and then but the drummer's constantly drumming. Nobody wants that many drummers.
No.
You don't want one drummer. I mean,
That's like being the worst aunt or uncle, and you give your nephew or your niece like, here's a drum set just for you,
yeah.
just to screw with your brother or sister.
I
would do that.
Every year I threaten my brother to get my nephew a drum set.
We did the Battle of the Gifts for a while with my wife's sister. They have 3 boys. We have 3 girls, and of course their house is always about 7 times louder than ours just by default. But it's they got us they got us recorders one year. All 3 girls got the whistle recorder thingies. So then we turned around and got them drums, and
Those are the worst.
yeah, it was yeah. What else did we got him? Something else? I think like a karaoke machine. Anyway, yeah. All right, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and open this gift, talking about all the gifts of the 12 days of Christmas. We're not that far off from the last. It was only 4 days ago that this 12th day of Christmas occurred. So maybe,
Close enough.
yeah, we should probably keep our lights up longer. I tried to tell my wife that, and she's like, "No, go ahead and get those down." And it didn't. Anyway, sorry. You
Yeah,
re-gifted this? Did you double knot this?
No, that's how it came.
Okay.
So it's tied up,
No, it's
and then I had to have Julie retie it because I'm not good enough
no,
to
it's
do
just
that.
it's a sturdy knot. It's a sturdy knot there.
Uh,
Oh, look at that! Oh, it's what is this, like you hang this on your tree?
yeah, I was thinking we could
Cool.
we could hang it from a mic.
That's pretty cool. Well, we need something with a background where it's going to pop, but that's their logo.
Yeah,
Where did they get these made? That's awesome.
I didn't ask.
I mean, I need to tuck my shirt. The red.
Sarah took off and left before I got to open it. And
You kind of see that.
oh no, she didn't. She saw it.
Red T-shirt. I'm sorry, everything's backwards on the
You could almost wear them as glasses.
Hold on.
I thought they were glasses for a minute. I was like, interesting.
They're almost perfect.
I
Maybe
know.
Hold on. If that would reach around my
Reach around.
crazy. Look at that. It's almost perfect.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What a cool way to you know
Yes. Thanks, Adam and Sarah.
integrate their logo into something that we will love and cherish as always.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just don't know where we're going to put it yet. This is going to take some thought.
I'm saying I think we should hang it from a mic.
It's going to clang. I want to hang it somewhere that's going to be how about this camera? Can we just hang it from
the camera?
This camera here? How does that look? How does that look?
It looks bad.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
All right, we'll figure out a place to put that. Maybe we ask Catherine when she's back. Catherine, speaking of Catherine, she has not abandoned us. Her kids decided just to throw up on every inch of her house over the last couple of days.
It's a lot of throw up.
It's a lot of throw up, literally, mop buckets full of throw up. So I told her, just sit this one out. You just don't worry about it.
Definitely not appetizing.
No, that's the thing with this time. I think everybody's a little sick. Sydney, you and I both were kind of.
Oh man, I was sick last week.
Yeah,
I had a bad cold, and I had to call in. It was bad.
It was that bad?
It was bad.
Yeah.
I've been living on Dayquil and NyQuil at the moment, but it works.
Do you ever mix them both at the same time? You get a little crazy?
I feel like my body would just get really confused.
Yeah.
And not really know what to do, and so then I would just cease to do anything.
I wonder if it opened like a black hole or something.
An internal black hole.
Yeah, and then you just sucks everything into it when you mix the Dayquil and NyQuil. You know what? It is a beer show, and we're not drinking NyQuil or Dayquil today.
Yes, we have a very important question for you, Sydney.
Yes.
Super important.
Let me turn this little knob up so you're able to hear it. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's time for your favorite segment and mine here on Liquid Lunch. This is
What you drinking?
So the question is, Sydney, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking the Aggressive Sunscreen. It's a Belgian pale ale. Get it?
Yes.
Little dad there.
Yes.
Huge fan of dad jokes here.
Yeah, actually.
I love dad jokes.
Where did I put those?
They're over there. Yeah.
My daughter's actually got me a dad joke calendar, like a joke a day,
Nice.
So they were like, we can either try to cut this thing off, or we can just
embrace it
and head towards
worse, better at the same time.
Just embrace it, and maybe something will come of it.
That's always the best decision. More dad jokes, more puns.
More puns, more dad jokes. Just double down. So yeah. All right. So Belgian pale ale.
Yeah, it's a Belgian pale ale. It's nice and fruity. It's a little sweeter, like most Belgians. It has that little bit of that Belgian-y. It's not candy-like, but it's got that little bit of sweetness that you usually get in a Belgian. And I dry hopped the tits out of it with Cascade, Hallertau Blanc, and Mosaic. So it's heavy flavor, but there's no bitterness. Absolutely no bitterness.
Yeah,
it's all just like we were talking about earlier. It's the when to put the hops in. So we put all late addition hops. So there's very little residual bite.
Nice.
Is this your recipe, Sydney?
It is. This is my recipe.
Yeah.
That's
Next
cool.
time I'm over there, I'm gonna. I didn't have that one. I didn't have.
Yeah, please do.
I will. Yeah, and I was also a little bit upset because when I went over last, my name wasn't on the beer board.
You're upset that somebody didn't beer you for it?
You gotta have a friend buy you a beer.
Well,
then the first part of that's really difficult for Kennedy. Yeah. It's like you gotta have a friend.
Yeah, that's
I mean, or you can buy yourself a beer for later.
Has anybody
if you
done
want to be that person? No, but they've talked about it.
That's
well,
like drunk me taking care of sober me kind of thing.
Your future self. You've got to look out for your future. I was going to say it's very sad, but you could actually say 1 year from now.
No.
It
only stays up for a month.
Book of shame.
Yeah, after a month, you go on the book of shame if you didn't claim it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you can still get it, but your name will always be in the book of shame. I made sure I got an extra thick book, so it'll be, maybe 4 or 5 years before I have to get a new one. I'm hoping.
So somebody beers it forward, but it goes a month. One, their name goes into the book of shame. The proceeds of said beer, does that move on to somebody else in need of a beer? Is it a...
No, because it is bought. We're not going to just take away somebody's beer.
Yes.
But they can still come get it. But when they do get it, we do a little bit of a shame session.
That's great.
A shaming. Is there levels of shame?
A light shaving. It's a light shaming.
Is there are there levels of shame? Like, let's say it's been 6 months. I think there should be more shame for 6 months than like 5 weeks.
There definitely should. Although I have a couple friends who purposely try and get her mom in the book of shame as many times as she can. So every single time she comes in here, she buys her mom a beer and doesn't tell her mom about it. And then her mom will come in. I'll be like, "Oh, hey, you have a beer and you have like a day left." And she's like, "Crap!" And she'll grab one beer and then leave. And then the next day she'll come back and put her back up on the book of shame.
That's fun.
So, or back on the buddy board. So her mom's actually in the book of shame twice now. First time.
That's a great idea. Like, who came up with the idea for the buddy board? That's awesome. I haven't seen that.
I actually saw it in Colorado when I went to visit my friend in Fort Collins. And I was like, yes, this has to happen no matter where I'm going. And I've suggested it at almost every single brewery I've worked at. And everybody thought it was silly. But we did it. So, yay.
Well, that's some of the best ideas start out as being considered silly. Like, you're going to build a railroad across this entire country? That's silly. I don't know if you
Crazy.
I didn't know if you saw that episode of Hell on Wheels.
No.
That whole first episode's like, you're silly. And then smash cut to 9 seasons later, and they built the thing. You're going to go to the moon? That's silly. And then, one small step, not so silly now, eh?
Yeah.
It's definitely equivalent to that.
Yeah, it's right
buddy
there.
Board, going to the moon, definitely the same rate of awesomeness.
Pretty much.
You're going to take a perfectly nice square block of wood and make a circle out of it and call it a wheel?
That's
silly.
You're going to take those two sticks together until they heat up and spark and combust and make something that will change mankind for all time? That's just silly. I'm going to put my head back on this rock and go back to sleep. I don't know. Anyway.
All right. Before we get too far, I want to say hi to Rudy, and Danny. Both jumped on, said hi.
Yeah.
Happy. Danny sends us Happy New Year wishes.
Yeah, it is the New Year, right? Technically speaking, still a New Year. Still has that New Year smell.
Hey, my brother just jumped on. So did Jeffrey.
All right, it's a party.
Hey.
So I don't know how long this happens for you guys, but whenever there's a new year, it takes me like a month to stop writing the date wrong. Mm-hmm. And then I'll start focusing on it so much that I'll get it right for like another month. And then like in March, I'll start putting 2018 again because I haven't focused on it.
You'll relapse, yeah.
It's a struggle. It is.
It is, yeah.
Struggle's real.
It's probably takes...
Especially when you label all of your kegs with 2018. Mm-hmm. And then you have to go back and redo them all. Definitely not.
Speaking of labels, have you had any issues since we're in said government? I wish we had like a thing for government shutdown. Like is that affecting you at all?
Well,
more business, I would assume, right?
Not quite, because we have about 6 label approvals that just got sent in right before the government shutdown, mm-hmm. and so we have enough beer to sell out a house. And for right now, we're not selling too much. I think we're in about 6 different places now.
Okay.
But I mean, we sell 90% of our beer out of the tap room, so we don't need label approval to sell it out of tap room. So new beer is definitely coming. I've got 2 new beers this month that'll be released. Can you disclose what said beers will be? Or is it
top secret?
No, I've been telling people because I'm really excited about it. They're 2 completely different styles, and they are almost on opposite spectrums. But I have a Mexican lager called K Pablo, because we're going to go on with the Who's Paul thing, but now it's going to be K Pablo Mexican lager.
I got it. I dig it.
Yeah. Super crisp, super just really easy drinking. Has that nice little lager crispness, kind of just. It's really good. I love a good lager, honestly.
Yes.
And then on the other opposite side of the spectrum, we've got a Cabertas Wee Heavy.
Oh wow, that is about as far away.
Yeah, so it's got that nice, like, super caramely, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of plummy characteristic. None of that roastiness that you get in some. You want a nice Wee Heavy Scotch ales, more kind of like a sweet Scotch sipper. You know?
I like when you say plain. It's always like dry fruit, like dried fruit,
mm-hmm.
or like roasty, like dark fruits kind of thing. I like that a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just like the weather. Like if it gets a little rainy and cold, That's
Yes.
it kind of calls
Perfect.
it. Yes.
I'm very excited. That's actually my dad's recipe, and we've made it before. And I had to pare it down because the last time we brewed it, it was not a wee heavy. It was a wee, like, way heavy, kind of. It
Way-
was easily 15%. Like, it was...
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
It was a big one. So I brought it down just a little bit, so it was a little bit more drinkable.
I think I turned my camera off here. I don't guess it matters for me on the Skype. Sorry.
No,
Behind the
no,
scene.
no.
Sydney, if you can't, you
she-
can still hear me as long as
You can turn your camera off.
You're good.
I'm good. Oh, that's
Right.
weird. Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, sorry. A little discombobulated. Stepping back into the studio. You know, didn't really do my due diligence this morning. Slept in a little bit. Kenny's like, I'm like, what's your ETA? Kenny's like, I'm here. All right, I'll get it.
Well, you sent it to me as I was driving, and I don't typically,
Text
check text messages while driving.
No, that's good. So,
That's safe.
Yeah,
I should have sent it earlier.
yeah.
We're sitting here talking about what Sydney's drinking.
Yeah.
What do we got on the table?
All right. Funny you should ask.
Is it?
Not really.
I mean, in the middle of a second.
All right. So I tried this beer for the first time about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it.
Oh, good.
And it's this time of year for this particular beer. Mm-hmm. But it is
Native.
the Prairie Double Dunk. Have you had
Okay.
this?
I have not had that, but I've heard good things.
It is Imperial Stout with Oreo.
Well, don't shake it.
This thing, it's
Like,
that.
check out this beer.
It's not that much of a shake. So yeah, with the Oreo, it's Oreo beer, Oreo Stout.
Did they dry Oreo
They
it?
dry hop. Yeah, I was gonna say, do they dry hop with Oreos?
I don't know. There's small letters here, and I've got old man eyes.
You want me to read it?
I mean,
if you want.
I'd probably like mash with Oreos. I'd like mash in with Oreos.
And which part of the Oreos do you use? Do you use all, or do you just scrape the cookie part, or do you want the cream as well?
You got to go.
I mean, if you're gonna call a beer an Oreo beer, it's got to have the whole cookie.
But do you add them all at the same time? I would think the elements are different.
Ooh.
Maybe you want to split those.
Yeah, here's the problem. You like take all the stuffing out of the Oreo,
Yeah.
then you got like a pile of stuffing, and you're just going to eat it.
That's true.
And they don't have any
It's a
information.
dangerous game.
It's true. Yeah. They don't have any information on that bottle. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah.
So hold on.
Oreos are the infinity cookie. You can't have one. You have to have the whole package.
No, you actually have to have a whole sleeve.
Yes.
They have those little bags of the mini Oreos.
Oh, the 100-calorie packs?
Yeah.
Oh, those are just enough to piss me off.
Yeah, you have to have like 400
That's
packs.
cheating.
Yeah, and then
Because you'll have one, and then you're gonna want, the whole rest of the box of the 100-calorie bags.
yes,
Right.
It ends up being like 4,000 calories if you go to Costco or somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, we got a deal on these, and they're only 100 calories, but you got the whole box there at the bottom of your pantry. Thank you. I don't see a lot of head on that. Maybe it's no.
Well,
I don't know.
Imperials are.
Yeah.
It's the Oreo.
Is it? Does Oreo dissipate head retention? Is it like a killer on head retention? Now,
I mean,
no.
the fat in it would probably
Just little
fat and oils
Yeah.
ruin head retention.
I wonder if okay. I wonder if they talked to. Is it Nabisco that makes Oreo?
Yes.
I wonder if they talked to
yes.
Nabisco about this.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get that on. Oof. It's good stuff.
I
Is
don't
it
know.
a kicker?
I don't taste the alcohol too much. What's the ABV
No?
on this one?
Oh, it's
So you say it's a
an
Imperial?
Imperial Stout. I
don't get.
don't know. We got to look it up. I should have done better research.
There's no alcohol content on that?
There
On the
probably is, but
I didn't see.
Oh,
it.
okay. I was like,
okay. Let me.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
It's probably like right there.
oh, in the tiniest writing
yeah.
humanly possible?
Yeah,
Holy mackerel.
I think it's actually right
Can you see it?
there.
Well, that's how much you get for the bottle return.
Oh wait. Oh, there. It
That's
I
focused.
see it.
It focused. You guys can read it better than me.
11.9.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Yeah. No. Hold on. I'm pulling it up now.
Is it very desserty?
All right. Grab get a screen cap.
12 fluid ounces.
There we go.
That's all I saw. You didn't hold it up there long enough.
It was up there long enough.
Okay.
You're just slow.
I think these beer stats on Beer Advocate.
Oh,
are off.
Jeffrey.
Oh,
of course.
11.9. 11.9.
Yeah, Jeffrey just said 12-ish. So,
11.9, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
It's not ish. It's not even in the 12s. You're way off. Jeffrey's our resident,
Yeah.
like knows
he's
everything
saying,
guy.
I should have checked this earlier. Yeah, the stuffing for fermentation. The Oreo stuffing
so
for
like-
fermentation.
Just like added sugar. It's like basically just adding dextrose to the beer. Makes sense.
I guess, yes. Okay, so the cookies were added in the mash?
Well, he's
Crushed up cookies?
Just speculating.
Let's see.
I mean, that would make sense. It's just separating. Like the cookie part is more. That's like putting. I've seen breweries, and I've been wanting to do this. Is you put whole pies in your
crap.
mash.
Yeah.
That beer's in the freezer, right?
Yeah,
I should probably grab it.
Oh,
yeah. It's probably too cold. Like, you'll have to put it somewhere to warm it up. You have to sit on it, like Horton.
Are you telling me warm it up, Chris?
No, I'm not. Well, I guess. Maybe. Go check the temperature. Take that 2 shot. There we go.
if it's too cold.
Yeah. All right. Now Kennedy sprints to the kitchen.
Kennedy doesn't sprint.
Well, a Kennedy sprint is it's a saunter. Anyway, if you were going to do an Oreo beer, would you want to put actual Oreos in it, or would you do like a deconstruction kind of thing and kind of build?
I mean, if you're gonna call something an Oreo beer instead of just like a dessert, well, I'd imagine they'd probably put Oreos plus the flavor components of what they think of an Oreo. So they'd probably put chocolate malt, and they'd probably put a little bit of lactose for that creaminess to like not just have all that flavor from Oreos, because otherwise you're just putting a ton of Oreos, then all of that alcohol content's going to be from the sugar in there, and then the beer itself will be really dry.
Yeah.
So you're not getting that body that you want for your imperial stout. So they probably balanced it with a really nice like malt bill that allows for that kind of chocolatiness, that dark, like not bitter roasty, but more of that like hot chocolatey roasty.
Yeah.
With some like lactose or something, like some oats to make it a little bit thicker.
Yeah, like to emulate milk,
Yeah,
like the feel.
basically.
Because
Yeah,
I mean, you could
that
call it
creaminess.
you could call it a milk stout, but I mean, if you added the lactose, I guess, but because that doesn't really add
Well-
lactose doesn't add alcohol, right?
No, it's a non-fermentable sugar, so it just kind of sticks around.
Yeah. No, the body of it is not. It's not too thin at all. It's
Okay.
I mean, could it be a little? I mean, maybe they went skim. Maybe they always had their Oreos with skim milk. Yeah, I'm a
There you
whole.
go.
I'm a whole guy. If I'm going to do milk, I'm going to do whole milk.
Ooh. Whole milk is like, you're intense. You're
Yeah.
an intense person.
I
You
don't-
like the whole.
I don't drink a lot
Not
of
half
milk.
the milk, whole milk.
Yeah, whole milk. Whole milk. I don't drink a lot of milk. I don't know if that strikes you as an obvious thing. This guy, unless it's a bowl of cereal, I can kill some cereal, man.
Yeah, I don't go.
That
I
kills me.
don't go whole milk. I go straight for the heavy whipping cream.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah,
You just do like your cereal over some
can
cottage
shop.
cheese or something.
yeah. Cereal and
Shot heavy whipping cream.
yeah.
I always keep a little heavy cream in the fridge.
I do too.
You never know when you might need it. It's great in
that-
coffee if you're going to go that route.
Oh yeah, you never know when you're going to have to make some whipped cream.
Yeah. Never know.
Yeah.
Never know. When's the last time you made a pie?
Over the holidays.
What'd you make?
Oh, I haven't told you this one.
Hold on, Sydney. Did you know that Kennedy makes pies?
What kind of pies? Like meat pies or like fruit pies?
Fruit pies.
Or
Dessert.
chocolate pies.
Dessert. So I made a Reese's. Oh, I need to find the picture of this one. I made a Reese's peanut butter cup cheesecake
Yum.
with
Is that considered a pie though?
a cheesecake. Is definitely a pie. It has a crust.
But it's cake though.
It's not cake. It's cake by
It's
name.
cheese.
To me,
Yeah.
they call it cheesecake, but I think it should have always been called cheese pie.
Okay.
It's a cake. It's a pie in every sense of the word. It has a crust.
I think it's like that in between that doesn't belong anywhere. It's its own category.
It's like the Kolsch of desserts.
There you go.
It's a cake that was pied.
So around the edges of my cheesecake, I layered it with Nutty Buddies.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yum.
Well-
and it had a bunch of like chopped up
Reese's in it.
Reese's in it.
Cups, right? Not-
Yeah,
not-
yeah, Reese's peanut butter cups, and the crust was chocolate graham cracker with peanuts mixed in.
Oh
Wow.
man,
It was
Was this a
that
recipe?
sounds
it,
like
it was really good.
Sounds like a diabetic coma.
No. Yeah, like your arteries just clogged bite after bite.
Yeah. How long did it take you to make this? Did you develop the recipe? Or did you find it?
I found it, but I mean, I added like my own little twist to it.
Flair.
Yeah, I did. I added the nutty buddies.
So I really like baking as well. So I'm going to ask: did you bake it, or was it one of those like fridge?
No, it was
cheesecakes?
baked. It was baked.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, those are the only cheesecakes in my opinion.
Yeah,
the other ones are just cold cheese.
No, I'm not a fan of the no bake cheesecake at all.
Yeah.
You got to have.
No,
egg.
it's not good.
No, you got to have egg in it, or it's not the same.
Yeah. Shout out to whoever's watching on YouTube. Just pulled up the YouTube feed. And,
I haven't even checked that yet.
I'll just.
I'll
type a little. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Preston's here. Hey, Preston.
Hey, speaking of Preston.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Preston.
Hey, Preston.
Hey,
Yeah.
Preston.
This episode, as always, it's a new year. Hopefully, if you had somebody that loved you for Christmas, they got you maybe a homebrew kit or something, or a book, or sent you some links to some videos to pique your curiosity. Maybe you visited Southern Yankee and you're like, man, this inspires me to want to create.
If you're on I-45,
Yeah.
and around 1960,
Well, if you're on 1960, just head east.
You pass Southern Yankee on your way to the.
That was a bit of a stretch.
Oh no!
The grain cellar.
There we go.
Almost been your homebrew store. Yes. Your one-stop fermenting shop. Preston, as you can see there in the bottom left of your screen. I guess that's the bottom left of your screen.
Yep.
That is Preston on the right. That's me with the full, luscious beard with my arm draped around. Said Preston, because if you walk in now and say Liquid Lunch sent me, he will not. He could give you one of those side hugs right there, or he could give you a full embrace, waist up, waist down. They're free.
Yeah.
As is all his knowledge, which is almost limitless when it comes to the home brewing, winemaking, cider making, cheese making, home yogurt. You want to make some yogurt at home, Sydney?
Fermenting everything.
Yeah, kombucha. Kombucha. There you go.
Hard lemonade. He's done that before.
Hard lemonade.
Yeah.
Hard pink lemonade.
Yeah.
Hard orange juice.
Yeah.
Anything really.
So
Pickles. Pickles are a form of fermentation. He could help you pickle it up. You could pickle anything. Peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes.
Yeah.
Those little baby
carrots.
Pickled carrots, which are delicious, especially if they're spicy.
They are.
Throw a little garlic in there with
You know
them.
what else is really
Some
good?
dill. What?
Pickled watermelon rinds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little sweet, little tart,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How does that even work?
You'd be surprised.
That is an excellent question, Sydney, and you could ask Preston next time
That's
you're
true.
in the grain cellar.
So we have a beer. Our next beer is.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna say.
No, don't.
All right, never
Hold
mind.
on.
It ties in the grain cellar.
I know,
I'll
but
shut
I
up.
wasn't quite past the fact that you can go to 240 First Street West in Humble, Texas, 77338. Of course, they're on the socials, Facebook, and the whatnots, graincellar.com. You can phone ahead or whatever. Preston will have your order ready. It is the new year, new beer. That's what you should be making. You can only love beer so much until you put your hands in there and made it yourself. Right, Sydney?
True fact.
True fact. Seriously, if you want to get on Sydney's level of loving beer, there's only you have to really approach it from all angles, and really dig in there. And
Yeah.
You gotta get the blood, sweat, and tears in the process, and then you have the full appreciation of how each beer is made.
Yes, and you'll be able to go
Yeah.
into Southern Yankee and be like, Sydney, tell me more about, and you'll have this appreciation of, oh wow, so I know a little bit about this from this angle over here because I was talking to Preston, and then I did this at home on my stove in my apartment, and my neighbors came over like, what are you doing? And I gave them a beer, and now, whatever. And then my girlfriend came over, and she's like, oh, what are we doing? And you made her a beer, and now you're getting married, or whatever, Kennedy, and it's just magical things through fermentation and wine. And cider. Cider's super approachable. Maybe you're intimidated by using heat. Maybe you're I don't know what the flamophobic or heat sensitive. Well, cider, you don't have to boil anything. You don't have to really do much of anything. You just have to wait. You just have to have a little bit of patience. Just some juice, fermentation, a little yeast, boom. You can jazz it up. Other fruits, if you're like big into fruit. I love fruit. Blueberries. Blueberries are one of my favorite fruits.
Blueberries in season right now.
Blueberry cider, yum.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
I made a blueberry blonde.
Yeah. There you go.
Blueberry blondes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is that Is that what you?
I'm working on a recipe for a blueberry chamomile goza. Right now.
Oh man,
That sounds fantastic.
Is it bad that I just got a little aroused?
Not at all. It's good beer.
Well, you're halfway across town, Sydney. It's fine for you. I'm sitting next to this guy. So you stay on that side of the table.
It just got weird in here.
It got a lot weird in here. It got a lot weird. But anyway, so yeah, the grain cellar. There you go. Preston is waiting on you right now. And Humble quietly becoming a fun, hot spot for craft beer lovers. You know?
One thing I can say about Humble, do not, and I repeat, do not speed in that town.
Oh, they got the cameras.
There's cops, and you don't see them.
Do they still have the cameras?
And I think they do have red light cameras.
I thought they had to get rid of those.
They have in this whole area. There's like 4 or 5 different types of police that all kind of police in the same area. So you never really know who is going to pull you over.
Yeah.
But
A lot of people to meet.
a lot.
HPD, Harris County,
Yep.
DPS.
Yeah.
State troopers.
State troopers could get a highway patrolman from time to time, maybe a constable or two, maybe a Montgomery County guy on a, just veering a little bit out of his jurisdiction and is thirsty. Off duty, obviously.
Well,
But our fine men and women protecting and serving the greater Houston area. We in Texas, we applaud you. Thank you. Keeping us safe.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. You had another beer you wanted to talk about.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, because we were speaking about the grain cellar. My last batch, and Cindy, I just recently started homebrewing, like last
Ooh,
week.
yay!
Are you opening it already?
Welcome.
Well, I didn't mean to, but so I made.
I mean, I'll dump this out in my coffee mug.
No,
I was drinking coffee right before I started the show.
No, so Preston gave me the recipe for my latest one, and it was my Christmas cheer beer.
Okay. What's in it?
It's a brown ale with a bunch of pumpkin,
Okay.
and then it's spiced with ginger, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, allspice, and there's some other ones I didn't put on here.
Very nice.
But
Did you put the pumpkin in the mash or the boil?
Pumpkin was in the mash.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's
Super
like 5.5 pounds of pumpkin puree in this.
In a 5-gallon batch, just
Oh,
for...
not that.
Yeah.
Not that one. There we go. Yeah, so it's a recipe that Preston gave me. I couldn't have done this without him. So I, put a nice little label on it. I did like the wax tops, and I gave these away for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
This is Josh's Christmas present, which
I held on to. Because
Yeah,
you said don't refrigerate because it wasn't
sure
quite
is.
ready for...
Yeah, I was a little late in doing it, and
yeah.
I had, I had to do secondary fermentation on it, so it took a little longer than I thought.
Yeah. Well, this will be our last conversation on pumpkin beers until 9 months from now or whatever, when we're back around the pumpkin beer season. But Sydney, what is your thought on pumpkin beers in general?
So pumpkin beers is a very controversial thing in general. But if you're talking about pumpkin and like squash beers, they're probably one of the most ancient styles of beers, honestly, when you think about where beer comes from. So it's not something that's new. What's new is the spice the crap out of everything.
Yeah.
Which I don't particularly enjoy. If it's just going to taste like I'm sucking on a cinnamon stick, I'm probably not going to like it that much. But I actually, something that a lot of people don't really think about is, have you ever tasted just like pumpkin without flavorings or sugar or anything?
Not a lot.
It's awful. It's not very good.
Yeah, well,
Roasted pumpkin is just not my thing.
Yeah.
But if you use butternut squash in your beer, it's yummy.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's very good.
yeah, and that's the thing. So I feel like where we are in the pumpkin beer history, and maybe I've talked about this before, but for a while it was just a product of marketing, really. I think you have to make one because it's the fall, and then marketing types took it and ran with it, and of course marketers ruin it. They take something good and they ruin it every time.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened. Now we're in the post-pumpkin era, not the post-road like Brooklyn Brewery, which that'll be my segue here in a second. Remember, we'll come back to that Brooklyn Brewery thing. But it's I think people are over pumpkin, and we got over pumpkin, but we actually got over spiced. And the nuance of said pumpkin beers, there are like 40 varieties of squash, like winter squash and pumpkin. And you really have to dig in there and really the new butternut is delicious. When I've made a smoked pumpkin porter, I've used butternut and a little acorn squash just to give it a little bit of and a little chipotle pepper.
Yum.
Or no, not chipotle. Well, a little bit of chipotle, a little ancho chili powder too, which gives it kind of a raisiny, like a dark raisin.
Yeah, a little smoky.
Yeah, because I didn't want to just do cinnamon and allspice, but I did that, but also added a little bit of ancho as well. But anyway, and you can add coffee to them. Anyway, but there's so many variations on pumpkin. I feel like that they're a victim. Pumpkins here are the real victim. And I'm not just saying this as a pumpkin pumpkinologist. But because I do love pumpkins, I'll be honest with you. I get a little giddy even just talking about it now. I'm like anticipating the fall already.
I love squash.
Yeah. So I'll even I'll grow some summer squash just because it makes me think of winter squash.
Pumpkin.
Yeah. Anyway. So there's more to explore in this whole pumpkin era, but I feel like they're overshadowed now by the marketing ruined it. So I think we've moved back the pumpkin movement a good decade. It's going to take a while for it to recover, for the stigma to wear off, and for some brave soul to come back and really explore it later. I
think what's really going to do is just like what is it? Where fruited beers were, 6-7 years ago, where fruited beers were the fruited beers are not for real beer drinkers or whatever.
I beg to differ.
They went off on that.
Mm-hmm.
I completely disagree as well. But that's where it was beer is only about IPAs and pale ales.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think nowadays there's this whole new group of people that are exploring fruited beers, fruited sours, fruited everything.
Yeah.
And so now that's that big thing. It's coming back. So I feel like squash and using in vegetables in general in beer, because I've actually been trying to make a recipe for a gruit myself for a small batch. And I really want to put parsnips in it. I feel like it'd be interesting.
Parsnips.
Yeah.
No one in Texas. No one in Texas knows what a parsnip is.
What? Parsnips are so good.
Do you know what a parsnip?
They're like a spicy carrot.
Aren't they are they kind of licoricey? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, that's fennel.
Fennel. Parsnip. Is that...
A parsnip looks like a white carrot, and it
yes.
A mix between a potato, a carrot, and
jicama? Is it like a jicama?
Kind of almost like a jicama, but it's more on the spicy end of things. If you bite into it or you candy it, it's sharp, like ginger almost. It's really good.
A root vegetable.
Yes.
Is it a jicama or just jicama?
I think either way.
I think it's just jicama.
Just jicama.
Yeah.
And that's the plural and the singular. I have jicama.
Jicamas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like moose.
I have many jicama.
Yeah.
I don't. All right, we need a linguist. I don't know. Preston, have you ever brewed with jicama? And what's the plural form of jicama? I think it's just jicama.
Jicamai?
Jicamai? Jicam.
Jickaman is.
I don't know. Hey, we'll research and come back next week.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Did you drink all the Oreo? That's the one drawback to these big beers, like this Oreo beer.
Yeah. No, I'm still drinking on it.
Yeah, you really can't just attack it. It is a sipper. And when you come out of the gate with it, like Preston's asking, Jeffrey said hiccup. I don't know if that. I don't know.
My favorite beers aren't the big beers, and in all honesty, I mean I'll have tastes of the big beers, but if I can get a really nice full flavored easy drinker at 5%, that makes my day, because you can have a few.
Yes.
You're not going to be taking an Uber.
It really depends on the time of day, time of year. Like a dark cold night by the fire, I want a wee heavy.
Yeah, that's a sipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a sipper.
I want to sit there and contemplate my life, or the things going on around me, socio-political things, or whatever.
Let's don't get into that.
No, I'm just saying that's not contemplate. It's not that time. I wanted to ask, speaking of ABV, the Mexican lager that you were doing.
Yes.
There are some. I've seen some craft variants around, and it seems the trend so far that I've seen is the ABV a little higher than what like a I don't know, just a American lager or what. It's a little higher for what I guess maybe the corn. You put corn in yours? What's
I did put some corn. I did put some rice because that's traditional.
Style.
And that's a style. I used a Mexican lager yeast, which Mexican lager yeast is a couple generations past where German immigrants brought their lager yeasts down, into Mexico.
Yeah.
But it is a lower ABV. I have to double check my math because I haven't done all that yet. But I believe it's around 4.8%. So it's right on par with, an easy drinker. You could have a few, and it's a nice transitioning into warmer weather.
No, yeah. It works with, it's a Mexican lager, so of course you think like tacos and anything. Yeah.
Good.
Like, chips and guacamole or whatever, and all that. Yeah. Would you ever use a guacamole in a beer? Speaking of, and is it a fruit or a vegetable? It's a fruit.
It's a fruit. It grows on a tree.
Fruit.
Okay.
It has a seed in it, a big seed.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Okay. I just thought that was something you could throw at people.
You can.
Okay.
You could put avocado in a beer, but I feel like the fat wouldn't taste very good in it.
So FAT, not PHAT.
Yes.
For that particular. Jeffrey says don't do avocados. I think, and he says,
that means he's tried it.
Yeah, I think actually there was the brewing competition at the Grain Cellar where the roll of the dice, which was and I think Jeffrey ended up with avocados as one of his ingredients, and he's still reeling.
Didn't we have an avocado beer on the show?
Did we?
I thought I brought one time.
We've had pickle beers.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, Kelly Meyer from New Braunfels, he'll be on next week. That's a little teaser. They have some cool stuff coming up. But, they did a pickle beer. Have you ever had that one? Sydney, have you ever had pickle effer?
I've had a pickle beer, but I have not had their pickle beer.
It's called... do you know what the name is?
No, I do not.
It's called Pickle Fucker. That's how that's just
okay.
FKR.
FKR.
That's how they get past the label approvals.
There you go, because that doesn't hide anything.
No, but it tastes exactly how you would think. It's like drinking pickles.
Pickle.
And it's great for a few sips. Like I'm digging on this. I don't know if I could drink 4 of these.
Hey, well, if you're gonna make a beer like that, your ambition is probably get people to try something new.
Yes.
I don't think that's gonna be a regular.
Your flagship.
Year round, flagship pickle beer.
Yeah.
If someone can make that successful, they can make anything successful.
Yes. What has been
they made it successful.
Well, no, I mean like a flagship. Obviously they made it successful because it's tasty from what you say. I haven't tried it, but as one of their mainstays.
Yeah, I think it's year round.
I'm pretty sure that's
it?
That's got to be their best selling beer, though.
I think yes.
Cool. Now I gotta try it because
they have.
If you can make that a good year-round beer, then it's gonna be a damn good example of it. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I swear on this?
Well, we did just say
we said fucker.
Yeah, we said pickle.
Oops. Oh, that's true. Okay.
But the word we said was not spelled like the word that we said.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds.
Yeah. No, then I gotta try it.
Yeah.
Because I'm, it's like the tomato grew it. It's not something you want all the time,
But you have to try it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, Kelly will be on next week, so everybody come back for that as well. Flagships. Okay, so a couple stories I want to hit. One, we'll go with flagships first. I hear that flagships are down. That's the news. Hard-hitting news. I don't have my news thing. I had a cool news sound. It doesn't have the same impact. But anyway, that was a store. Flagships like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Mm-hmm. And then who else? Oh, Fat Tire.
Yeah.
Fat Tire from New Belgium down.
The one from Bell's. What is that?
Two Hearted?
A cow one.
Oh,
It's something with the cow. I forget what the name is.
what is their cow?
It's like their amber.
Yeah. Who else made? Who was Boston Lager?
Yeah.
Sam Adams Boston Lager. I forget. There was a couple others, but anyway, they were not lamenting. Oh, the article was basically saying that because people are so fickle in their wanting to try all the different things, like the pickle beer and then the Jicama's beer,
Hiccups.
Jicama beer,
Yeah.
or parsnip lager, or whatever. That it pushes the flagships kind of into the back of people's minds.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sydney. When you go out, I mean, I know most of the time you're probably at the brewery or whatever, but if you go out, do you ever just are like, I just want a classic that I know, or do you gravitate more towards the novel?
So I mean, I do, I enjoy a lot of classics when I'm feeling it, but as you might, know, I don't get out much because we are a brand new business that have only 4 people working at it, so we're constantly busy. But when I do go out, I try and try something new, and I try and make it as local as possible because I like supporting, the local people.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a trend that is not surprising for most people in the industry, because when you think of how regional breweries they're not growing as fast as or nearly as fast as where they were 5-6 years ago, and that's because this hunt for something new is hard to do on a regional size scale. And so that you get a lot more of those smaller pubs like us where we're constantly changing our menu, where we can keep up with that desire for something new. It's hard for a big brewery to make 120 gallons or 120 barrels a minimum of the something new, and then keep it going. So I'm not super surprised on how this trend is going. I definitely think it's going to be interesting to see how the big guys, keep up with that.
Yeah,
but it should be good. Interesting.
I wonder if at some point we'll be in the. I know we're in post pumpkin, but I wonder if we'll ever be in post flagship. I know that a lot of don't really have like they have kind of a flag. Do you consider your flagship your flag? I mean, is that
we have Juice Pop, Who's Paul, and Porter's Porter are the year rounds, and I think maybe flagships in general might not be mass quantities, large kegs and 6-packs galore. But I'll tell you right now, I've worked in a few small breweries, and the regulars, they want to come in and try something new, but they also want to know that there'll be a beer that's like, the Old Faithful, where you come in and it's going to taste good, and it's going to be what you want. So I think it's still important to have at least a couple that are just consistent, so people know that there's something there. Yeah. While doing some small batches or something else that keeps interest.
Yeah, I think one of the big issues is the people that love the new and novel are also the ones that talk the most. So it's like, hey, you gotta try. That's by nature somebody who's willing to try new things wants to also talk about new things. And
then I have a guy who comes in every single week, and he only wants the Juice Pop. That's all he wants ever. And I'm like, hey, do you want to try anything new? We released this beer. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm not. And that's it. And so I feel like the Juice Pop's going to stick around forever. There's another one, the Strawberry Knigget. It's the fruited Belgian wit. I have one regular who basically she even bought herself a little plaque to put behind her Mug Club mug that says "I love the shrubs," and I think she might actually hurt me when I take that off to rotate it out. But I promised I'd find something in that similar vein that she'd like.
Yeah. It's good to know yourself, though. It's like, know what you like. There's something, we need those people. We need a little bit of everybody. We need the crazy off the wall types, and we need the other people on the other side that are like, I'm only going to try this, and then the rest of us all there in the middle. or wherever you fall. So Jose says, hey, listening on the audio side. Hey, Jose. Hopefully class is gone. I think he's back in class now that the semester has started. So welcome in, sir.
Right.
Yeah, he just got out of his class. So he's learning there, and then coming here, and Sydney is laying some knowledge on him as well.
Learning more.
Yeah.
About some stuff.
Yeah. Good.
So, Sydney, we had a question from a viewer.
Okay.
Something about a homebrew competition at Southern Yankee?
Yes.
Would you care to talk about this?
We are trying to figure out all of the details. We have talked to two different, the KBG and, I forgot the name of it, but the brewers at the grain cellar, forgot their name. But we've talked to both groups, and they definitely are interested. We're trying to figure out the details on how to get enough water and enough water pressure. Mm-hmm. But we are working on setting up a Pro-Am brew-in at our facility where we would set up a tent. And that people would bring their equipment, and we would take away the grain, and we would provide water, and we do that, and have beers and music and food truck and fun stuff. But there's a few details in the actual process of brewing that I want to make sure, if you're knocking out, you have enough water pressure to cool down your wort, that kind of stuff. And we're working through some kinks. But it's still on our thoughts. We're still trying to figure out when we can do it. We're trying to do it in the next 6-ish months, and we'll make sure we keep everybody up to date. But our water pressure is not great, and so we're actually talking to a friendly fireman that may have the ability to, put an adapter on a fire hydrant.
Oh, wow.
So
it's a lot of pressure
we'll see how that goes.
That's cool. All right.
So we're still working on it, but it's not going to be probably soon, because we're just trying to figure out all the little details.
Okay. Real quick, we've done our shout-outs on all our, except for Periscope. So Martha's K, Tailgate TX, Tapscendence, DJ Chad Adams, and Indie Brewer. Thanks everybody on the Periscopes. We're on all the platforms.
Yeah, we're everywhere. You can't get rid of us if you tried.
Yeah, we're like a virus.
So just FYI, the brewers from
Road.
Grain Cellar. Uh-oh. Are you okay?
My tower. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I hit my my headphones, and my tower fell a little bit, so we're good now.
Okay. Rogue Brewers.
Yeah, Rogue Brewers.
Rogue Brewers.
Yeah.
Got
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had one of them come and do a little, help me brew day, where he was my grunt. It was nice. I didn't have to shovel grain for a day.
It's good to have grunts. Everybody needs grunts. The Rogue Brewers, a bunch of good guys. I know a number of Rogue Brewers, and they've actually been on Interbrews before. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I want to make it to one of those meetings, but I'm usually working Friday nights.
Yeah. Well,
and I finally have a Friday night off.
You gotta get your priorities straight.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you gotta figure that out.
Yeah, I think I do have my priorities straight.
Yes. Well, maybe. It's questionable. It's New Year, Kennedy. Hey, all right. So before we started the show, Sydney, there was an article we both read. I think probably this morning as we were doing our show prep, or whenever we read it. We'll just say that for the story. But non-alcoholic beers. This is not something we've ever really gotten into, but Brooklyn Brewery in Brooklyn, New York, they're brewing one, and they're going to release it in, where did I see? It's not Switzerland, Sweden, some country over there. Finland?
Oh, they're doing it not in the U.S.
Well, they're going to start over there, and when I say over there, it's one of the Nordic type countries, because they drink. Their percentage of non-alcoholic beer to regular beer consumption is somewhere in that 10% range, where here it's it's like the 0.3%.
Yeah.
So
it contains pregnant women and people that can't drink beer for medical reasons.
Yes, medical and or religious reasons, perhaps. I don't know.
Oh, and religious reasons.
Sure.
Yes.
Or they're just they don't want to get too crazy.
Anti-beer.
Yeah, don't want to get too crazy. But you had talked about before, and I don't keep up with what all the kids are doing, but you were saying that there's like this new trend of what'd you say they were called? Sober
curious.
Sober curious.
It's a new, yeah. So I've read a couple articles in some brewers magazines, and I think the last one I read was in the New Brewer from the BA, and it's the younger generation. I'm part of that. My generation and people a little bit younger than me. So I'd say probably like my brothers and mine, we drink a little bit more and like wine and beer and like more craft beer. But then the generation that's like just turning 21, 22, they've done some research and seeing the trends on people drinking, and they're actually more interested on having fun sober. And so the low alcohol beers and the alcohol free beers, I think that's something that's going to be on the market more for sure. At least starting in the low alcohol, like getting down to like 3 to 4%.
Yeah.
If you can make a full flavored beer 3-4%, I know you're gonna hit a market that's untapped really in the craft beer world. I mean, there's a few that have hit that and have that really good flavor, and I've tasted, and I think it's something that we're going to have to look to. I mean, you can only go so big for so long, and you're still going to have people that want those big beers. But if you're trying to branch out and continue growing your business and reaching new people, you can't just keep, making the big beers. You got to start doing some new things. And I think that's going to be trying to get those low alcohol beers for people that are wanting to still go out with their friends, still have a good time, still do all these things that, are culturally part of the social life without feeling pressured to imbibe in something that they don't necessarily want to do. And so being able to make those low alcohol or no alcohol, really flavorful beers, I think that's going to be something that's business owners are going to have to at least start looking into. And I know I have. Yeah. I'm still working on getting my efficiencies right, so my alcohol content has been finally starting to get where I want it to be. Yeah. But, so I think we've got it. So now I'm going to try and actually do a few tests to figure out if I can do that, 3.5 full alcohol or full flavored beer that even, you and I, who you're used to 5-6% beers, are still going to be like, yeah, damn, this is a good beer.
Yeah. Well, that is, and really to hit like the true sessionable category, it really needs to be sub 4 and below, really. Yeah. I mean, we talk about sessional and we're like, oh, yeah, it's 5.5, that's pretty sessionable. But I mean, like historically, that's people went to the pub. That's where they did all their business deals and all their political negotiations and all that kind of stuff. And like after church, and they're there all day. And that's the thing. You want to be there for a full session. So you can't drink, even 6-7% beer is going to be a bit much once you're 3 or 4 in. Any business deals you made right there are going to be, nowadays, are they even subject?
Questionable.
Yes. So like something like a English mild. Like Holler did one that was really good,
or like a good Berliner Weiss.
Gozes, see, those are around.
I love a good Gozen Berliner.
Yeah, and those have tons of flavor, and of course, there's different avenues to get those flavors into it. The beer that Brooklyn is making is a true to be non-alcoholic legally, it has to, I think, 0.4 is the range. And so we did a little looking before the show and the process, and if Preston wants to, comment on, how the process is done. Basically, you make a normal beer, fermentation, everything, and then once primary fermentation is done, you have to boil off the beer, but the boiling point of alcohol is lower than, the actual, like 212. So it's like 175 is where you want to keep it. But here's the issue, right? What we were reading was that once you bring a beer up to boil, that any hop bitterness is going to be intensified, big time. Yep. So if you ever cooked with beer and it was an IPA and you're like trying to do a reduction or something like that, Like
Yep.
IPA reductions don't even. It's like some of the worst. Like even if you roast something in beer and it's an IPA, it's not going to taste like you want to go super malty.
Yes.
Or something like that. Even in a slow cooker, though, you can do pretty much anything in a slow cooker.
Slow cooked beer.
Well, like when I have to do, sometimes I'll do a roast and then I'll put like a stout or something in there, and it makes some really good rich flavor along with all the veggies and sometimes I'll do some beef stock too, and the fats from the meat. It gets intense. And, it's good, but if you go too hoppy, it gets a little bitter. And the higher the temperature, the more intense that bitterness becomes. So 175, boil it down. I guess you could do like what are they, those sous vide? Yeah, the boat motor looking things.
Yeah.
That might be an option.
Isn't it like hot water? So like basically you're pasteurizing it basically. Like uber pasteurizing.
Yeah, you keep it at like 175 for
Yeah.
I don't know, I think they said 15 to 20 minutes for like a 5%, and that brings it down. I know that with Brooklyn's, what they were talking about doing is like, and I was looking this up. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up because this is. Hey, Foamy Head 13. He's on the old YouTubes. Let's see. It was the Liquid Truth Serum. Let me pull this up. Sorry, I should have notes in front of me. I believe all of the hop additions for this one were post boil. Blah 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 blah. We've done all this. Yada yada yada. Where are the details?
Post like original boil or like post secondary boil?
Let's see. Using a unique process that incorporates 4 different states. Okay, so maybe it's just. I thought. Okay, hold on. Sorry, is no different with liberating the truth. Every single hop to the juice after the boil is complete. So, and it's a good beer. It's very like. You have a lot of hop flavor. They use all the states.
I'd try it.
Yeah, it's you can get it here in Houston. They use whole leaf, liquefied, pelletized, and powdered. But they use a lot of citrusy type hops.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Hop oil is hop oil. You have to know how to use.
Yeah.
To get it right, in my opinion, it can be a little too intense. Sometimes. It depends on how the oil is like extracted. I mean, there's 2 different ways of doing it. And if you get a can of hop juice or hop oil, it sometimes can be like a little bit. It's hard to explain, but to me, it tastes a little slippery.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you like lick a bar of soap.
Not soapy, but like.
Do you lick bars of soap?
It's slick. I mean, is that your hobby? Because I'm not going to hate on your hobbies, but
No, I mean you gotta, if you want to test out the soap.
I mean, when
like
I would get a fresh bar of soap in the shower, I don't lick it to make sure it's good.
Well, not if you've had it before. But if it's a new bar,
it's a new bar. You lick it just to make sure
the flavors are right.
Yeah, I don't want to put something on my body that I don't want to taste like. You never know.
Okay.
My dog is like grateful. He's like, "Thank you.
Oh.
That last soap you had was not that great."
Oh, your dogs do lick a lot.
They do. It's because I get the best tasting soap.
Well,
There you go.
they lick me, and I.
Do you ever lick them back? That's a con. That's their con. That's what they're trying to get you to do. Don't do it.
Not when anybody's watching.
Okay. I bit my dog back before. Sometimes you got to. He'll put his mouth on you, and it's like, I'm going to put my mouth on you, son of a bitch.
Preston's agreeing with you, Cindy, about the hop oil.
Yeah. It's not a soapy flavor, because you can get a soapy flavor from hops in general, in aged hops. A lot of times you can get that, but just the hop oil itself, it's just I'm not a super fan. I'm just like I like to go a little bit on the original, and like hop pellets, but that's just me. I mean, I've had plenty of beers that are really tasty, and they do use hop oil, but it is a challenging thing to use and not have that flavor, in my opinion. My taste buds.
Yeah. Maybe you just have like super duper buds.
I mean, I try and keep my taste buds trained.
Yeah.
So it ruins a lot of bars, but I try and keep them trained.
What do you bench? I don't know. Tongue presses. Anyway, I don't know. tongue crunches. You ever do those? You got to get
Cleanest mouth in town.
Yeah. But I would imagine if you can do all your hop additions post boil, though, perhaps you could do
Which boil, right? Because if you're doing it the first boil before you have the fermentation, or the second boil.
You mean to remove the alcohol?
Yeah.
Well, if you can get hop flavor, what temperature does it have to be? Because to get any bitterness, you have to extract.
Well, you'd still get bitterness. It would just be a way slower process, right? The 175, you could probably still get some like heavy flavor. You'd still get some extraction of flavor. It's just like dry hopping, right? But if you're trying to get like an IPA bitterness, like that kick, of bitterness, I think you have to be a little bit warmer than that. I feel like I got to check my science, my notebooks.
Maybe you could do you could blend. Maybe it'd have to be like
you could do both,
like a hop tea or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like hot teas.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Have you finished your?
Yeah. I'm not gonna drink it. I'm finished.
Mary Thorne is saying hi through my door right now.
Hey, Mary.
Oh, that's what she was saying. She was going to be there in 10 minutes.
You thought she was coming to the studio?
I see. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna go let her in. Be right back. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk amongst ourselves. Kennedy, would you drink a non-alcoholic beer?
I mean, I would try
if
it.
it were made by a craft brewer.
I think I would try it once.
I would too. There's some merit to like when we do this show. You can't go full blast in the middle of the day, and
I mean you can,
but you can't do it and expect the rest of the day to be that productive.
No, you definitely can't do it and then go to work.
Well, you can again, but to really tackle the day, it's a little bit.
All right, so I'm excited because I haven't tried my beer yet.
Well, let's pour it up, man.
Yeah. So one thing you'll notice, I didn't the labels. I kind of see how it got a little wet, and so it's kind of running off, and then I accidentally touched it right here, and like this part's coming off. So I didn't spend a lot of money on these. These aren't quality labels.
Oh, well, don't.
My design's pretty quality.
You didn't have to disclose,
but
all that. Are they? Are they back?
Are they back?
I don't know. I can't. My camera went away.
Oh, I think so. I think they're back.
Oh no, there we go. All right, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey. Sydney's back.
We have friends now.
Who all came? It's Mary. Who else is it?
Mary and Ebony from Brooklyn Brewery, actually.
Whoa, we were just talking about you. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
We have friends.
Yeah. Hey, Mary. Tell Ebony we were talking about. Well, you can. I mean, if they're just going to hang out, we were talking about the non-alcoholic beer that Brooklyn's doing.
Yeah, the non-alcoholic beer.
Where is it? She said it's like Finland or somewhere that they're releasing it.
So where are you guys distributing that? In Finland?
Are you talking about our alcohol-free beers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finland.
Yeah, so it's going to be in our Swedish market
Swedish.
initially,
Similar.
and then we're going to start hopefully selling it either later this year or beginning of next year in the States.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried it when I was in Brooklyn actually in December, and it's delicious. Like
Really?
It's a perfect alcoholic lager. So
Lager?
Like, yeah, it's really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes to try it. I was watching Garrett Oliver he was on YouTube or something breaking down beers. I could watch that guy break he was like he was doing that. I forget the name of the podcast.
He's a magician.
He's like but I was watching him do cheap beers versus high end beers. They don't tell him which is which, and he breaks it down. And just watching him break down beers, he's a genius. He's a beer genius. So anyway,
See if my gets loud enough.
oh
All right, now's the time to start talking about her. She can't hear us.
no, they got the speaker on. They can hear us.
Oh, can they? I don't know. She was listening to headphones.
I don't know. Did you unplug them?
Can you hear me, Cindy?
Yeah, there it is. Okay, I had to figure that out.
Okay, that'll work.
Good now.
Cool. So, Abby, what are you doing in town? Are you doing some beer tasting over at Thistle or something? What's going on?
Yeah, so I work in the Houston market. Well, I have East Texas actually in Louisiana, so I work in this market. I was just over there saying hi, eating some lunch, getting some work done, and then setting up an event for next month. So
Okay.
yeah, stuff. Yeah.
Very cool. So watch that on social. We'll share that because everybody loves Thistle Draft Shop. And,
Oh yeah.
I love
Sure.
Thistle Draft Shop.
Yeah. How long have you been with Brooklyn? I like that shirt. I like the.
Oh, thank you. 5 years now. 12 years in the craft beer industry, 5 years with Brooklyn. So, yeah, Brooklyn's been an amazing company to work for. I couldn't ask for a better brewery.
That's cool. Well, I mean, you're in a good one there too. I always feel weird when I want to give praise to both. I'm just saying, y'all are both awesome. Anyway, sorry. That's why I'm not a marketing person. I'm just do a show on the internet.
Yeah. It's a lot of beer.
Did you have lunch already? What did you eat over at Thistle?
I did. I had their chicken sandwich. It was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were in just the other day and had the truffle fries and the pretzel nuts.
Oh, yes.
I haven't eaten lunch yet, so you're talking like food porn for me right now.
Well, it's only liquid here.
Yeah, this episode is rated.
Yeah, I brought that.
So,
Liquid bread.
yeah. All right. Well,
Can we do? You want
are we going to try your beer? Okay.
All right. So we're gonna try my.
Try
beer.
Kennedy's beer real quick.
I haven't tried it yet. This is my first time. I'm excited.
Everybody gets to witness
So
your first time.
what all did you put in this? This one again? You
this
said
is my-
pumpkin,
Yeah. So
cinnamon.
pumpkin. There's ginger, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and allspice.
Very nice. Okay.
I made a 5 gallon batch, and there were 5.5 pounds of pumpkin.
Did you put the spices in like a tea in the post fermentation, or like at the end of the boil in like a whirlpool?
No, I did it during the boil, but
Okay.
like towards the end of the boil. And once again, thanks to Preston because this was his recipe. But last 10 minutes of the boil, I put some of the spices in. Last 5 minutes of the boil, I put some more spices in.
Okay.
All right. Let's crack it open.
And so this is my first attempt at the wax tops.
Oh,
Do you need a knife
Yeah.
or something?
No, I think it's already starting to crack, so
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay. There we go.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. Well, I'm kind of like,
Are you?
I mean,
it is my beer.
yeah. No, your beers have been pretty good so far.
Spice beers, if they're done well, are pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, as long as they're not, about to slap you in the face with cinnamon, like I said earlier. I mean, they're pretty damn good.
Well, and the spices that go into it have that tongue-numbing quality if the ratio's too high. Cinnamon,
Yeah.
allspice, and cloves can all overpower and make your tongue
Ooh,
kind of go.
that's a nice carbonation level.
Yeah. I'm going to say that the cellaring process on this one is probably
Nice.
about 75% because I did that. I left it on my table over the last couple of weeks. The cellar, aka this studio. Are you going to put all the? I get all your trub or
You
whatever.
get the little fruity bits.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Thanks.
But I
Let
actually
that
talked
settle.
to someone
There
the
you
other
go.
day who said
Thanks,
that
man.
all those little bits at the bottom of a bottle are like extra special flavor nuggets, and I like looked at her like a little bit like she was a little crazy.
Yeah.
But to each his own.
I'm sure there's some healthful benefits. They're probably full of antioxidants and the sort. It's just yeast. It smells
Good
great.
for your
Man, it smells
inside.
great.
It smells like a craft store that my mom would have taken me to when I was 10,
To me, it smells like pumpkin pie.
like a craft store.
Okay.
Just like a candle on a wood shelf with a bunch of things I can't pick up. Don't
All
pick
right.
that up.
All
Can't
right.
afford that.
Well, here I go.
All right.
I'm going in.
All right, take a sip
I'm
of your
going in.
beer.
I'm going in.
Let's get your reaction. And
I think I put too much spice in it.
so you're always super critical of your own things. I was talking about this yesterday. Latest episode of Interbrews
a
coming
little
out
spicy.
hopefully this afternoon with Walking Stick Brewing Company. We recorded that yesterday, but we talked about especially with sandwiches. If somebody else makes you a sandwich using the same ingredients you would make for yourself, it always tastes like 75% better.
Well, I mean, you're your own harshest critic, right?
But
So,
then-
you're gonna taste it, and you're gonna have an idea of what you wanted it to taste like, and then if you don't taste exactly how you want it to taste, I don't even know if that sentence made sense, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not exactly where you want it, and so you get that little well, I mean, it's still a good beer,
Yeah.
or it could still be beer. I haven't tasted it, but it definitely could be still a good beer, but you just didn't hit your mark.
Well, the aroma is great. It really does
Yeah.
smell like Christmas. I mean, it's like if I could get my house to smell like this all the time during Christmas.
Oh, brewing the stuff was amazing. Man, it smelled so good.
Just have a nice little pot simmering just all the time.
A little spicy, right?
A little bit, maybe, but I think if you had let this one sit, maybe another couple weeks or so,
Right.
Because spices will drop out over time. So it just depends on when you want somebody to drink this.
I mean, I did. So I mailed a lot of these out to like family and stuff, and I told them all to wait till February
That's a
There you
bit much.
go.
to drink
Yeah,
it. So I
that's-
bet by then,
Aged a
probably
little.
good.
Yeah, no, I think had we waited till February, I think that's probably where it needs. I mean, the aroma smells great. I'm gonna let it warm up just a scotch. Let it sit here and get Mary Thorne.
So a little trick for me when I add spices to beers, I usually do it post fermentation in a hop tea or like a hop tea, but it's not really hops, so it's like a spiced tea. So like we have a Tiny Tim's tea chai brown ale, and all the spices I did in that, I basically made like a little tincture of hot water and spices and let that sit. It gives me a little bit more control of the spice levels. So maybe next time do it that way, and you can taste it, right? You dose it, and then you taste it to see how it is, and then you dose it again if you want a little bit more.
So all the spices post fermentation.
You don't have to do all of them, but that's just how I do it as a more control, because you can't really taste it when it's boiling, right?
Right.
Why is your tongue swollen? Taste testing my product. Can't feel my face, but no, the aroma. I'm going to give this aroma I'm going to give it a 10. The aroma is
Wow.
amazing. The cellaring process probably a 12, having left it on the table.
Yeah.
the carb level when you poured that looked beautiful for a bottle, and it wasn't over carb. So sometimes it's just like half foam.
Yep. Color appropriate for what you were going for, brown. Now I've got a little more like the tasty bits or what the nuggets.
Yeah.
I got let's look at you. Hold that up to the light. There you go. So
pretty.
that colors, pretty, like a mahogany. Would you call it mahogany?
Yeah. You get a little bit of red tones in it.
Yeah. Color great.
Yeah.
Carbonation great. Body. How's the body on this? Right about where you want it for a brown ale. Not too thin. Not syrupy.
I definitely want to revisit this next holiday season.
What? How much?
Yeah.
Did you keep track of hops and things like that? How much, like the hopping? Do you remember the type of hops? Type of yeast? Did you use an English yeast?
Yes, I used an English yeast.
Okay.
I love English yeasts. They're the best, in my opinion. I love them.
Every time you ask me about my beers, I always forget to write down the types of hops.
Did you put any orange in here? You didn't say any orange, right?
No, there's no orange in there. No.
Maybe that's
Sometimes like allspice reminds me
Yeah.
of like spiced oranges,
Yeah.
so I can get that little bit of citrus.
That's what I'm getting.
I think that's the problem. Maybe I put too much allspice in it. It's kind of allspice heavy.
Maybe just a scotch. It's good though. It's good. It's very
Thanks.
good. Yeah. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Usually out of my 5-gallon batches, I get like 50 beers, 48 to 50 beers. And since this one had so much pumpkin in it, I only got 37 beers out of it.
Okay, that's fine.
And
That's okay.
I
feel ashamed.
I gave away 35.
Well, there you go. So you don't have it. This is the only one you're going to get to taste.
No, I have one. I have one at the house.
I'd wait.
Yeah.
You should wait, and then like 4 weeks.
Cellar it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it now? Is it in the fridge or is
Let
it?
it age.
It's not in the fridge.
Yeah.
It's in the pantry.
Okay, that's probably good. All right, good job. Hopefully everybody else. You know.
Oh, before it gets too late, I have something else.
Oh well, please.
All right, so I brought you, Josh,
You brought me.
a little present to start off the new year. It's not really a Christmas present.
Okay.
I guess it could have been.
Wow.
It's a little something to start off the new year.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah. All right. It's a surprise. He has no idea what I'm about to give him.
Yeah, I had no idea this was coming. I got him a computer stand for the studio here.
Oh, that's an envelope.
It's a manila folder. Is it a pink slip? Am I getting fired?
No, it's something way better than that.
No. Is it a raise?
Yeah, I'm doubling your salary. Well, I'm quadrupling my salary.
I think I know what this is.
I don't think you do.
I think I do.
What do you think it is?
Calendar.
Well, you can tell by the spiral in there.
Could have been a notebook.
But
I figured it was a notebook full of things you want me to do for the show, so I can keep.
Should be a lot thicker than that. All right.
Oh wow!
The to-do list.
You're right. I had no idea that this was coming. Who else got this?
A few people were privileged enough to receive one of these. No.
All right, ladies and
This is a
gentlemen,
calendar?
Yeah.
it's the Kennedy.
Oh, it is the calendar.
The 2019 Kennedy calendar.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was the hot brewers of the Houston
I
area.
mean, it's actually better than the Hot Brewers calendar.
It definitely is the gift that keeps on giving for sure. Kennedy runs off to Europe, and all he brings me is this stupid 2019 calendar. I don't really know what to say to all of this.
Well, you need to open it and feast your eyes upon the.
Okay, so here's what we can expect all year long.
Yeah, you got a whole year of this.
Kennedy in various states of relaxed,
Sexy poses.
sexy poses,
Yeah.
I guess. Wow.
All over Europe. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are there any? Okay, so Lane, people looking as though they're.
This is a good one. This is that. Oh, you got to
I
show
don't.
that one.
No, I don't want to
That's
show
Is there a
everybody.
nice dad
That's-
pose in there?
that's checkpoint Charlie.
Checkpoint Charlie, and,
Yeah.
and I guess that's near where the Berlin Wall was at one point.
It's actually yeah, pretty much on where the Berlin Wall was.
Okay, and then here we are in. Is this
That's
Spain?
Yeah, that's Salo,
Oh
Spain.
yeah, there it is, right
Yeah.
on there. Yeah, he's by a boat.
Yeah.
Kennedy by a boat. Can I just skip ahead to September to see what my birthday month is?
Yeah, the best one is June.
Oh, is that when your birthday is?
Well, that's when my birthday is. And if you notice, in June, I left you a little marker telling you when my birthday.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
look at that.
June the 1st,
Yeah.
in case you're wondering.
There we go.
Yeah,
The Mediterranean.
yeah,
Basking in the sun.
yeah.
Hey, that's fantastic. I'm sure this looks like it. Wow. They're there every month.
You
It's
have 12 Kennedy sexy poses.
more and more Kennedy
Yeah.
each time.
Yeah,
So in September, oh, you're in Paris.
yeah.
That is lovely.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah, people are giving me all sorts of weird looks while I was taking these pictures.
I can't imagine why.
Oh, that's a good one. You got to show that one to the camera.
Okay, so October in the catacombs. That's appropriate.
Yeah, I was in the catacombs of Paris.
all those poor,
Sexy pose in there.
all those poor dead people
Yeah,
were like,
no one said anything to me.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So I don't want to give away all the poses.
Well, I'm not giving away. Only certain people got.
Well,
You should hang that up behind your head so every month you have a different Kennedy, like
We'll-
right by your ear,
We'll pick
so
the
people can see it in the video.
We'll pick the perfect spot for this one. I assure you. We'll find a great spot somewhere. Thank you.
Preston,
Thank you,
do you really want one of these calendars, Preston?
I mean,
He says he does, but